What is up, folks? This is Aircast, and welcome back to Modern Minecraft, Infinity Minecraft. Alright, so this area is really shaping up. I'm nowhere near done, but I think it's starting to look pretty good. Definitely better than just gray walls, that's for sure. But we still got, well, I've still got a bunch of hours to put into crafting the land down there, so that'll happen at some point, but like I said in the last episode, I'm going to take a break from that just so I don't burn out on it. Because terrascaping takes a lot of time. A lot. So, we're doing pretty well on power, but that is going to be... Was there an elemental guy up here somewhere? I think that's what that was. There was a strange sound that happened, and I was like, what is that? Alright, so we are doing pretty well on power, like I said. We've got 5.345 billion. The RF is slowly going up. It was going up much quicker earlier, and I'm not sure why it has slowed so much. But the point is, I would like to have more. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you need more power than that? Well, when I turn everything on, I have a huge power drain, and I mean huge power drain. If I run the quarry and have all my ores processing, the power drain is so severe that in the matter of about an hour, I'll have about half of what I have now. So it's seriously, it's a very serious power drain. I'll just say that. Alright, so what are we going to do? We are going to work on something in that room down there that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is set up one of the reactors from Big Reactors. Now, this is something that I actually have never done. I've done a mock-up of what I want to do in a creative world, but as far as actually using a big reactor in a mod pack in my, actual world that I'm playing in, it's not something that I've done, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. I've hinted in the past couple episodes about something I want to hit up here pretty soon. You may not have noticed it, but there's another mod I want to get into here pretty soon too. Actually, I would like to touch on most of the mods in this pack, but obviously that's going to take a lot more episodes because there are a lot of mods in this pack. Alright, so we are going to be working with Big Reactor, so I've got everything over here. Now, I have the numbers up on my other screen of what I need for everything, because it's actually quite a few blocks, because the reactor, well, do I do anything small? Is there anything in this screen here that I've done that's small? Maybe some of the torches down there. But yeah, in true fashion, I'm going to make a decent sized reactor. I'm not sure actually on the maximum size of the reactors that you can make them. But I'm going to do a 9x9x7 is the reactor that I'm going to work with. Not a small reactor by any means, but you might be able to go considerably larger. I know at a certain point the efficiency of the reactor decreases, even though you're getting more power. So that's always something to consider. It's kind of hard to tell with a lot of these mods what the most efficient way to do things is, because a lot of these mods have been around for a long time, and people really haven't kept up with like wikis and stuff as time goes on. So, it's kind of hard to tell without doing all the testing yourself. And so that's probably something along the lines of what I'm going to be doing. I'll try some larger one. I'll try some smaller ones. At one point, I think the optimal size was a 9x9x3. And I think actually two 9x9x3s is going to be more efficient than a 9x9x7. But I just want to build a big reactor. I mean, that's what the mod's all about, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, so let's go ahead and start setting this up. Now, we're going to need a bunch of these guys. Now, I have a bunch of ingots in here. I've made them into blocks, and I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I have plenty of yellorium ingots I can work with, because most of this stuff is going to take the ingots to actually craft. Alright, so for example, we have the fuel rods here, which also take graphite. Now let me see how much graphite I have in here. Okay, 640. The way you get graphite is by burning coal, or charcoal. I don't really have any charcoal, so I'm just burning coal. And we have plenty of it, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, just stick it in a furnace of some sort. It can be a redstone furnace or induction smelter, alloy smelter, anything. I think the arc one works as well. But we have plenty of graphite in here, so let's just go ahead and do this. Now, I'm going to need, these are the fuel rods. I need 75, so I can go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to actually making an extra stack would be kind of wasteful. I wish there was a button I could do to make like half a stack, because I know this is actually more than I need. But I know I need fuel rods to make some other stuff, so I'm just going to make half a stack. That's going to be more than I need, but it's fine. So, alright, so we've got that. And that would be what? 70, 80? Yeah, I need 75, so that's fine. I'll just go ahead and toss those in there for other crafting patterns. Alright, so we need some reactor casings, and I'm going to need about 200 casings for all the patterns. Now, we'll make more big reactors. I might make them off screen, but we'll make more as our power requirements go up. But I guess I can just go ahead and make these. That'll be fine. Let's see, what else do I need? I need to make a controller. So it takes a diamond, 2 yellorium ingots, and 4 reactor casings. As you can see, a bunch of stuff is actually going to take these, but I only need 1 controller. If you have more than that... Oh, did it actually have some in there? It had reactor casings in these 4, but it didn't take anything from the stack, which is really weird. So I might have had some casings in there. I'm not sure why, but apparently I did. Alright, so what else do we need? We need some glass. But I was going to say, it works kind of like the AE system. If you've got more than 1 controller that's not connected for the AE system, it's not going to work. So this works in the same way, but you don't connect these guys because there's no reason to. Okay, so what else do we need? I'm going to need a reprocessor. I can go ahead and make that. There's no reason not to. This is actually going to be separate, but I'll show you exactly what it does later on, because right now if I explain it, it's not going to make any sense to you. So we'll go ahead and do that in a little bit. Alright, so I need 2 access ports. Okay, so what does that need? That needs some chests. And actually I should have just some chests in here, period. Because there are a lot of things that make chests or need chests to be made. I need 2 of these. I don't need a coolant port, actually. That one is for the turbine, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. There's actually 2 different big reactors that you can make, 2 different types. And one of them is a steam turbine, and it needs a normal big reactor to run off of, so. Alright, now what else is it that I need? I've got the controller. I need the control rods. I need 15 of these. Alright. So it's... Alright, that's only 5. I guess I'll toss some of these in here. I should have put them in the other way, but yeah. Looks like I might actually need some more casings. Okay, that's only 13. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some more casings. I thought I made enough, but guess not. Okay, so we've got those. Yeah, definitely going to need more. Oh, that's where my... Okay. I didn't see it take out of the first stack. Alright, anyway. Is that everything? Oh, I need a power tap. Alright, where are you, power tap? Nope. I'm completely blind. Oh, actually, yeah. I'm blind. Alright, and let's go ahead and make another stack or two of these. Yeah, that should be plenty. Alright, now I need reactor glass. I'm sorry if this isn't making a bunch of sense yet. Mainly, I'm just trying to get everything together so that it's not going to be an issue once I get over there. Okay. That's not going to be enough. Okay, so I'm going to need to make a bunch more casings. I'm actually surprised at how many casings this is taking. Alright, so I'm going to need some more graphite. So I will be back in just a second, and we will actually make this thing. Now, this is a lot to take in, I'll admit, but it'll start making sense once we get over there. Alright, so I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, folks. So I've got everything I need, I think. But I brought along some helpful things for that. So I've got this ME cable running all the way over here. And considering how far that is, that's probably taking up a good chunk of power in and of itself. I could make a easier way to transfer all of this matter energy all the way over here, but it's going to take even more power, I think, than it would to run it all the way over here. So it would save me a lot of cables, and I think I'll do it at some point, mostly just to be silly. I'll make a bunch of them, but at the moment, it's not really a big concern for me. Alright, so I've got these cables. I'm going to go ahead. I need to run it over there, because that's where I want to put my reactor, but I don't need it there quite yet. I do have this crafting terminal that I can stick somewhere, though, so let's go ahead and just do this, just so I have access if I need to. Alright, so it's not updating yet because it needs to go all the way back to the controller before it can, update itself. And these lines should go away as soon as it does. It might take a while. I'll look at it in a minute. Alright, so casings. At the most basic level, we need to set up a 9x9. I haven't actually counted out to see how wide this is. But let's just go ahead and set it up. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, that's fine. Now, I might move this at some point. I haven't decided how I want this room laid out yet. Oh, you know what? I don't think I actually have a cable going directly into it. I think all of them are set up so that they have these guys, set into them. So I might need to go change that. All that stuff's disconnected at the moment. That's my ore processing. Oh, no, I have it set up here. I wonder why it's not connecting. I wonder if this will make a difference if I go like this. I'm going to try it just to see if it works. because I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. I've just got this guy running into this dense cable at the moment. And there don't seem to be any gaps. Oh. That was weird. I don't think they're supposed to have these lines. I guess they do. Okay, whatever. I'm a derp. I'll take a closer look at that later. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I can push this wall over one more and it'll be even. But this room is not exactly, you know, it hasn't been smoothed out very much. It needs a bunch of replacements, which I kind of want to get into TolkienCraft just for the purpose of the wand. Because it makes it so much easier when you can just right click on a wall and have, oh, that's another really cool thing. So if you just right click on a block, it'll tell you what you need to complete it. So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to say that's super helpful. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't really want it going all the way up to the roof, but I can change that later. That's easy. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I was making sure I counted the bottom block. I wasn't sure if I did or not. Okay. So we're going to build just a basic frame, much like we did with the tanks that we used from Railcraft. Okay. I ran out of blocks again. For some reason, the replacement of blocks on your hotbar is not working in this particular patch. And I'm not sure why. Actually, I have no idea why. I don't know if they took the mod out. And I'm honestly not sure what mod it was that did that. So I can't really tell you. And I can't really look at the mod list and go in the config files and find it because I don't know which mod it was. So that's not exactly helpful. Alright. Actually, you know what? We really need to have access up there. Yeah, we definitely need access. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do this. And make it so, because, well, that's a little bit of a pain. I guess we can make this 3 tall. And let's put some light up here so you guys can see. And so I can see. Alright, let's make it 3 tall. Now, I have been considering going ahead and upgrading my pick. But that's going to take a whole nother chain of events for me to fix. So I want to get power, and then probably that's going to be my next option. Or my next project. Because I would really like to be able to dig out I think it's a 9x9 area that it can, and that's like this. Obviously it's not going to do a 9x9x9. That would be crazy. Because, of course, digging out 9x9 at a time is not crazy. But that would help me out so much in crafting some of these rooms that I need to build. 3x3 helps out a lot, but it could be better. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'll put the fuel rods down now. I think that'll be fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do is do this checkerboard pattern. Like so. And what this allows for... Oh, actually, I need to go get my liquid ender. But what this allows for is for a coolant to be placed along the outside rim and in between the fuel rods themselves. Now, this won't get you the most power that you can get out of these guys. Did I really miscalculate on these? We'll see. But it will give you efficiency. So if you're wanting more power, what you can do is place diamond blocks in between them, and that will allow for more heat to build up. But I want efficiency because the power that I get from the rods in this pattern is going to be plenty for now. And I'm more concerned about the number of ingots I have, which potentially could be, you know, pretty much unlimited depending on how much time I want to spend running the quarry. But I would rather it be more efficient. Okay. Especially if I'm just going to leave it on all the time, which is what I'm planning on doing. Now there are builds, much like you have using the nuclear reactors, that plan for short bursts of high energy production. I've never really enjoyed setting those up. They're just not really my thing. I think they're kind of cool, but I would rather just have it running all the time personally. I'd rather a setup that produces a good amount of energy that, you know, is efficient and can pretty much just run itself. Now, unless you have one of these things, that's really not an ideal plan. But since I do have that and it can hold a heck of a lot of energy, I don't really need to turn it off. Now, once we get towards having that maxed out, that's something that I'll consider. And, well, I'll need to consider, because otherwise it's just going to be wasted energy, and that's never a good thing. Alright, so control rod. Now these need to be on top of these guys. And you can do all sorts of really awesome things with these. I'm not sure that they're going to come up yet. Oh, okay, good. So you can actually increase and decrease how much of the rod is actually in here, which is really, really awesome. I don't think it shows a visual. I think you have to have the Elorium in there before it'll make a visual. But the Elorium will fill up these control rods, which is pretty cool in and of itself. Alright, so let's go ahead and install the walls. And we're just going to fill them up like this. I like being able to see inside whenever I make stuff like this. I've kind of built the liquid fluid tanks, whatever you want to call them. Oh, yeah, I need to change that. Alright, so we'll go in here, change the size back to a 1x1. Because otherwise, I'm going to break all sorts of stuff that I don't want to break. Alright, reactor casing, you're going to go right there. And everything else should be fine. I made a hole in the wall, but that's fine. And we'll repair that later. Actually, I'll probably just demolish the wall altogether, but, you know. Okay, and I need to push this wall back here back a bit too, so that we have some room to work. Okay. Now like this, and almost done. Now I do need to put in a few more things. Okay, that's fine for now. I'll need to fill in the top of the glass as well, but that's going to be a minute. Alright, so I need to have these access ports, and this is going to be separate, and I need a power tap. Now I'm going to need to bring a few more things over here. Let's go ahead and... oh, I forgot I changed that back to a 1x1. I liked the other mode that was the way that the modes are changed before they changed it to the way it is now. It's just not as convenient as the other way was. This menu allows for a lot more in-depth changes because it allows for the insertion of, you know, this, dig speed. It also does the, of course, the item inventory, which allows you to manage enchantments. So this way is more in-depth, but it's just not as convenient in changing the different modes. The way it used to be is that it would allow you to do like the wand focuses do, or yeah, there we go. That still does happen. It doesn't happen as often as it used to. I think it happens about once every half hour. So I think it's just the one of the mods saving is what that's up to. But yeah, let's go ahead and send all this back. I don't really want it in my inventory. Marble, it's fine. Limestone, okay. But yeah, alright, let's change this back before I forget and demolish half my reactor. Okay, but yeah, that's less convenient than hitting like Shift V or something to just change the mode to 1x1, 3x3, 9x9, etc. Alright, so we're going to need to set up these reactor access ports. I might end up with more control rods. And we're going to need a power tap. Now I need to get a tesseract over here. There's the power tap. I can set up these guys back here. It's fine. I'll just do like this. You know what? Let's do something a little bit different. I'm going to put you floating in here. I should have known that was going to happen. I really should have. Or I could have brought my magnet that I made a while back over here. Alright, so I'll put you here and you here. And then I'll put you there and you there. Do I want to do something like this? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so one of these is going to be an import, and one of them is going to be an outlet. I'll change this one to go out, and as you can see, it has the arrows going in the opposite direction, and you'll find out what this is about in a little bit. But basically, I want Yellorium to come into here, and when the Yellorium is used up in these fuel rods, it ends up coming out as this. Was it cyanite? Yeah, cyanite. So it'll come out, and we need to bring this out of the reactor. And that is what this reprocessor is for. So we're going to take this cyanite, we're going to combine water and power, and it'll turn it into, was it bluorium? Plutonium. There we go, plutonium, which is effectively the same thing as the Yellorium. So we can reuse that, which is really, really important to making a efficient setup. An efficient setup. Alright, let's drop some of this off. We need that. I don't need these control rods. I'm not sure. And I shouldn't need more than this. Alright, so I'm going to go get some ender real quick, and then we'll be back and continue on. Okay folks, so I figured I'd come over here and show you what I was doing just in case you don't remember. But I've got all these set up, and I've got the resonant ender in this one. Don't have anything in this one at the moment, but I've got redstone and glowstone as well. So now there are a few different things that you can use as coolant. If you're just starting out and you don't really have a lot of materials, you can just use water. So water is completely viable. It's just not very efficient, as you can imagine. Alright, I'm not actually sure how many of these things I need. But I'm going to leave it at this for the moment, just in case I don't need as many as I think I do, which is probably going to be the case. That's usually how things are. So I have water over here as well. I've got an aqueous accumulator because I mentioned I need water for the reprocessor. And I've got my tesseract, which we're going to need to put the power from this big thing, and it is not small, back into our energy storage. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up the inside. Now, we're going to need to put these, remember, between, as well as I just fell. Let's go ahead and just make it so a bunch of buckets are on here. Between these fuel rods as well as outside. So other things that you can use include things like cryothium, which is really good, but not as good as the ender, which is kind of strange to me. I would think that the cryothium would be the best coolant, but it's just not the case. Now, I imagine that's because cryothium is lower on the tier of fluids to get as far as its... Oh, crap. I wondered if that would happen at some point. So, Resonant Ender, if you jump in it, it teleports you to a random place, which, considering it comes from Ender Pearls, you know, it makes sense. But yeah, anyway, so I guess that's why Ender is... I mean, alright, so gelid cryothium is actually more labor intensive to make, but it's not as in tier as ender pearls are, because it takes a lot of ender pearls to get this stuff. And that means that you need to already be in the end, and you need to have killed the dragon, because otherwise your chances of actually having a Enderman farm set up are pretty low, because of course the mods that you need to use to get that kind of thing tend to involve some pretty in-game stuff. Now, if you're using Mine Factory Reloaded, that's probably the easiest way, I would think, to get those, especially since you don't need to kill a lot of the mobs to actually get... Is that all of them? Get a farm up and going. But you do need other things to do it. Alright, so as long as it's actually flowing, it's fine. The block just needs to be filled up in some way. And that's something that the Resonant Ender has that's a great deal better than the cryothium. Because cryothium doesn't really do that, unfortunately. So you're going to need a ton of cryothium, and it's just not as efficient in cooling. So there's no real reason to use it, in my opinion. I would probably just use a lesser fluid at that point, because cryothium is actually kind of expensive to make. And it's like I said, it's pretty labor intensive because you need to use a lot of different things. Now, if you, for some reason, have a Blizz farm set up, I guess that's an option. But if you don't, then you're, you know, not in the best situation. Alright. I think it takes snowballs infused with redstone. Let's check it out and see. Alright, so we need cryothium dust to make liquid, or gelid cryothium, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, we need cryothium dust in a magma crucible. And to get Blizz powder, you need to, yeah, and you can either use a Blizz rod, which I mentioned, or you can infuse it with redstone, a snowball with redstone. So that seems a lot more painful to me than just going to the end and killing the dragon. Um, maybe not to you, I don't know. Alright, so this thing is by no means set up completely yet, and I would not turn it on without setting it up completely. Now, I don't think it'll actually blow up. If it blew up, holy cow, this thing would make a big dent. But I don't think that it is necessary to do so. Alright, so we need a tesseract, and actually I need some cables and such too. Is my power over here? Yeah. Alright, so this one was set up for mob essence previously. I think power storage is where I need to set this up. Let me go check real quick and see which one I need to set it up with. I'll be right back.